Well, what is going on, everybody? Welcome everybody into the Overreaction Buffalo Sports Show on the Overreaction Sports Network, presented by FanDuel. I apologize, the post-game show. I've got old notes in front of me. My name is Joe Miller, and you can find me on Twitter at Joe Miller, wired alongside my co-host, former Buffalo Bills, John Fina and Jerry Ostrowski, who you can find on Twitter at John Fina and at Ostrowski_Big O. We are so excited that you guys are here with us. Please do us a favor. Please like. Please subscribe, whatever platform you are consuming this presentation on. Please do us a favor and like and subscribe. We appreciate that. But with that, coming off a very emotional win last Sunday night against the Baltimore Ravens, the 1-0 and AFC leading Buffalo Bills were in New Jersey this week to face the 0-1 new-look Jets team that was riding a bit of a moral victory, although you two would probably say there's no such thing as moral victories. Biggest concerns coming in, fellas, was the loss of Ed Oliver and Taron Johnson against a very good running football team in the Jets. But the Bills' defense came to play, and as they won the war in the trenches on both sides of the football and defeat the Jets 30-10 to move to 2-0 and stay on top of the East and the AFC overall. Gentlemen, happy Victory Monday to you.
What's going on, fellas?
And you know what, Joe? I washed that shirt, so I'm ready to go tomorrow. I hope to wear that shirt 18, 20 Mondays, Sundays in a row.
Nice.
As am I.
You're in the car.
Yeah, we're in the car. My lovely wife is driving us home from Cedar Falls, Iowa, after a stressful UNI victory, but at least it was a victory, and looking forward to getting home. This ride gets a little bit old after a while.
What is the drive? Is it 8 hours, 9 hours?
Yeah, it's an 8-hour drive. So, go by, see the kids, tell them bye, and then hop on the road. So, it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, welcome to everybody in the comments section that is joining us live right now, both on YouTube and potentially on Twitter. So good to have every single one of you guys join us. You talk about a little bit of a stressful game. I feel like going into this, we expected there to be some stress, and there wasn't. Jerry?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically the Bills did exactly what they needed to do. I think that the defensive game plan was very, very good. It was basically try to limit the big runs, take the run away, and force Justin Fields to have to beat him. And, there were some plays to be made early, and he didn't make good throws. But I thought the Bills did a real good job. It was interesting what they did inside to try to overcome the loss of Ed Oliver. Of course, they bring Zion Logue up from the practice squad, and I thought he did a tremendous job. Really good run stopper. But they took Daquan Jones from the one technique and actually moved Daquan to the three and played a lot of Deion Walker in the one technique, and just were like, okay, we're going to lock up these A gaps and B gaps and solidify the middle, and then allow our linebackers to get downhill and make plays. Now, both of those guys played much better than they did last week, as did Tyler Rapp. But, of course, Milano now with the hamstring injury, we'll see what happens with him on Thursday. But all in all, I thought it was exactly what the Bills needed to do. And that's what good football teams do. When you play a team, you don't want to give them too much hope. You don't want to let them get into a game or be in the game. And they took them out of it early and handled business. So really good job by the Bills on that front.
Yeah, that's great insight. As most, I would say, average fans like myself didn't really pick up on that kind of like tactic. I know there was conversation about one of the rookies, Deion Walker, moving to the three as well. I think as well, Jerry, right?
Well, I think what they did was definitely on rundowns. They did play T.J. Sanders some at the three quite a bit, but I think they've realized real quick that to try to get him the most, productive reps in a game that's more along the lines of passing situations, although he did play some. But, yeah, I mean, everybody forgets Zion Logue is a really good run player. He's
Right.
just not a third down player. I mean, you're not going to get much pass rush. Now, what he did do today is affect the middle of the field by swatting down two passes.
Yes.
But, you got those. If you lock the middle up, the Bills' defensive front's now so different because you've got Joey Bosa, who can just absolutely is a dog in the run game and fit the run game as good as anybody. And now you've got Bosa involved, makes the inside better. And, last week we talked about that being a poor matchup. And for whatever reason, those guys at linebacker and Rapp at safety, not so much Bishop, just had a really hard time fitting and didn't really, I think, commit to playing the physical style of game they needed to play. But today was a little bit different. They played a lot better. But you've got to solidify the middle of the defense up front. And I think the Bills have done well the last 2 weeks up front on defense. It's been what's behind them that have had issues.
Yeah, John Fina, who is in the New Orleans airport with his wife, I believe, as well. As much as Jerry talks about just defensively and a change in scheme, kind of a change in plan, which I don't think see the Bills do things maybe that drastic. The Bills also had a day on offense running the football, James Cook especially, against we know this Jets defense is good. Regardless of coach, Aaron Glenn is a great coach. We know he's a great defensive coordinator. Offensively, what popped out at you, John, just as far as what you saw this offensive line doing to get the success that we had today?
Well, early on, I think everybody's got to do that business where they feel each other out. Everybody knows the Jets up front are pretty impressive, right? So you're not going to win every battle. But I think what Joe Brady did was just the variety of the types of runs that we put on them. And then when we threw in the right situations, we were never really behind the chains. So we were always in a position where we had a good down and distance that gives you just a vast number of plays to call. So your options continue to grow. When you go from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, then, what you can do, what you can call opens up considerably. In this game, we, as much as you love Josh Allen like the rest of us, we are trying to be a run-first team because we know the benefits it holds for the receivers and Josh Allen when we can establish the run. So this game was interesting, right? Because I'm looking at it and I was like, this is like the clash of Salvatore's Italian Gardens and Satriali's New Jersey meat market, right? Because I thought this would be a blood and guts game down to the wire with injuries and getting chippy. And, we were sitting in a bar in New Orleans watching the game, and I've never felt more relieved just watching our Bills surgically take apart that defense. And then on, our defense, as to what Jerry was saying, just the aggressive nature, bringing 2 big bodies in and stopping their run game, because they're run first for sure. Breece Hall is just an incredible weapon. And you CJ Stroud, we saw it a couple times. You don't want to let him get free. So establishing that, whatever you want to call it, détente up front between the 4 and 5, and then probably the lecturing our linebackers got about getting aggressive and getting downhill, it really paid dividends shutting down the Jets running game.
Yeah, John, I know you're in New Orleans. Maybe you could not hear because you were at a Bills backers bar in New Orleans. But at one point, Josh Allen actually made the audible call Mangia, and I think people said that he was doing the
Manja.
I'm Irish.
And by the way, you notice Fina's using French words because he's in New Orleans now. So he it's so fitting.
C'est détente on the defensive front. Yeah, so I sent Josh a text. I'm like, we had a really cool ad with Cruz and a bunch of our Hispanic heritage players in the NFL, and I had to call Josh, and I was like, hey, you got to get some Italian going in there. So, and it's funny because you say manja, that's eat, and the mantra of our offense is everybody eats. Then you look at the stat line and manja tutto. It was great.
I think Cook ate more. The chef ate more than anybody else did today, as far as that goes. But we're gonna need John. We're gonna need you to change your name to Finaeux. I think is what we're gonna need you to do there, just to make it. And you work for a French company, so this whole thing is coming full circle right now.
Oh boy! Oh yeah.
There were some injuries coming out of this game. The big one that hasn't been super widely talked about was Matt Milano, and coach even said he's a little dinged up. There is video now from Thigh Doctor on X and I caught it as well, coming out 30 seconds left in the second quarter, the big Justin Fields run. You see Milano try to make a move to go tackle him downfield, and his legs just one of his legs gives out underneath him. The expectation or what he suspects is it's a hamstring. Obviously, Josh Allen with the bloody nose. Taylor Rapp, undisclosed, was seen in the injury tent in third quarter. And then Cam Lewis, we saw him kind of bang his leg, bang his knee. And then Tre'Davious White, came out early. But it sounded like Coach said that they were more limiting his reps just because he hasn't practiced much since August. Yeah. And they know they're going to need him clearly on Thursday. So I don't know, Jerry, thoughts just on the injury front? Anything you've heard, anything you saw?
Well, I think we're pretty much accustomed to this now. I mean, we've got our group, our rotation of guys that we can move in and out of the lineup at any point to take over for somebody who's been injured. Milano being hurt, I mean, we've done it before. We've got Dorian Williams, so I thought when he's on the field, he's starting to really feel it. I like Dorian Williams a lot, and he's about ready to emerge as that guy. So having Dorian out there won't stress me. I think Tre'Davian was taken out because of precautionary terms,
Right.
and honestly, I don't see anything I see out of the Miami Dolphins doesn't tell me to rush Ed Oliver back either.
Right.
I think we've got a good group up front in the rotation. I think we'll be fine, but no, nothing just really earth shattering. Other than I wonder if Haley has already contacted her Hollywood plastic surgeon to make sure her boo-boo doesn't have a messed up nose.
I'm excited to see Raccoon Josh Allen on Thursday with the two black eyes.
I'm a little worried about Josh. I mean, he takes a shot like that, he could end up with a nose like John Fina or Joey Bosa. I mean,
oh my God,
he's Cyrano de Bergerac if he's not careful. That thing just
Fina, you said it, I didn't. You're the one who said it, so you can't blame me.
That's funny.
Hey, you know what, Joe? Look, we rotate a lot during a game, right? And to Jerry's point, part of the reason we do that is you want to try to keep guys healthy. It's a long, hard season. But additionally, if you get them out early in the game, like, everybody wants Josh wrapped in bubble wrap, but, you take Milano out, you move Zion Logan and out. It's given the opportunity for guys who are a little further down the depth chart just to get more reps, right? Become familiar with game shape. Trey White came out, in my opinion, it's just about being in game shape, because there's no way you're coming back and going, if you don't have to go full game, there's no point in doing so.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about the rotation and being a team that rotates, and as much as we're talking about some of the offensive stuff, defensively speaking, Joey Bosa in this game, Manja 8, right, in this football game was dominant, was a force. It was incredible to see mature, I would say, pass rush skills. Ryan Talbot from Shout Buffalo podcast said that he has a 99.5 grade unadjusted coming out of this football game Joey did versus the Jets. And in the presser, they were talking to Joey about the amount that he's playing, to which they said he's right around 70%. And he responded with, yes, they're effectively, I'm paraphrasing, they're letting him play, and it's up to him to kind of let them know when he needs to come out, which is a gross change from what we've kind of seen outside of Ed Oliver last year, who I think was in the 68, 67% range. Jerry, are we seeing this staff maybe learn or grow, or I don't know what the word is, evolve?
Are you trying to justify the fact that you want your stars to play 99% of the time, Joe?
I am. It's
no,
true.
I'm not.
I want to know what the level is, Joe. Is 70% okay? I know it's a great jersey number, but
versus
versus
45 versus 45%. Yes, I want to see Joey Bosa on the field 70% of the time, not 45.
70, Jerry. Okay, Jerry, the number is 70. Go.
I don't think Jerry's going to respond.
Jerry might be frozen.
Jerry might be frozen.
I think a lot of that, Joe, is dictated by a little bit like a batter, right? If you're on a streak, if a guy's on a streak, if he's feeling hot, there's conversations that go on the sideline. And, Joey's he's a little long in the tooth. He's been in this league a little while.
Yep.
I think when he says, coach, keep me in, that might make a difference too. So we'll never know. Well, we might know. Someone might bring it up as to the philosophy of are we going to rotate less or more? But I could tell you, Joey's not the kind of guy who's going to be quiet about it.
Yeah, Joey's 30 years old, by the way. And Jerry, I think you froze up just as we were I was being made fun of. Yes, was the answer to your question. I do want to rotate them less, specifically Joey Bosa. And John said the number is 70. Which is a great number for obvious reasons versus 45. I want to see Joey Bosa on the field 70% of the time, not 45%.
Yeah, and you're not going to get it, but go ahead, Jerry.
I think you had a little different situation. I don't think the Bills were stressed today as far as having to be in a lot of pass rush packages and things like that. Offense was on the field. Offense was on the field quite a bit today. So while you look at 70% of the plays, I think that it kind of worked and flowed in that favor. I don't think you're going to see him out there that many plays all the time. But I will say this, the problem is he's so damn good fitting the run and everything he does. I mean, he is a true 3-down defensive end and makes everybody around him better. He's already made Groot better. And, you know, I think maybe what you'll see, guys, is once we get to week 6 and then we have the bye week and we get Michael Hoyt back and they feel a little bit better about rotation situational stuff there, maybe Bosa doesn't play quite as much, but they know that they need Joey throughout the season, not just for the first couple games. So I just can't see them wearing him out early with a ton of plays. But, you know, I think the other thing about Bosa is, you know, you think he's out there all the time because when he's on the field, he's productive and you notice him, you see him. And that's a big difference too.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to play devil's advocate, gentlemen. I'm not trying to be negative, but Jerry, you said it, and it's in my notes as much as there's a lot being lauded to this team, both in the national press right now, the content creators that have already done their post-game shows, and then even kind of with the Bills, about how the Bills have responded defensively. You know, they were expected to, some people had them losing this football game because of the way that they looked against the run versus the Ravens. However, let's be honest, and Jerry, you were saying it, Lamar Jackson poses a much different threat from a passing standpoint than Justin Fields. The Bills were able to effectively just say, we're not going to let you run the football on us, and Justin, have fun if you can, right?
Exactly. And I think the other thing the Ravens do so well is they're not only a zone team, they run a lot of angle type stuff in like old school man up football plays. What I mean by that is the first play of the regular season last year, and then again the last game we played against the Ravens and TJ Sanders is in, they ran that down the defensive tackle that went for score. I mean, they do a ton of stuff that's different. And then they're so physical. Their offensive line's talented as well. And you know, even if the 3 guys that took the heat this week decided week 1 that we're going to go ahead and sell out and do whatever we have to do, I don't know if it's still, maybe it changes a little bit, but I still don't think it makes that big of a difference. Every time we play the Ravens, it's going to always be that way. We're going to have to outscore them just because of the way they play. It just gives us fits defensively.
Yeah, for sure. Any thoughts on just what you saw today, John, in this defense versus what we saw on Sunday night versus against the Ravens? Against the Ravens, sorry.
Yeah, Jerry brings up a good point. I think I said C.J. Stroud earlier. I meant to say Justin Fields.
Oh, you've already your pink slip is in the mail. Like, you're fired.
Oh, well, thank God! Finally, I get shown the door. What are you, like a priest? Did I just get a blessing?
Pretty much.
So Jerry's right. I mean, not nearly the threat that Lamar Jackson is, but you know, he does run the ball well. But I think, you know, when you look at just the commitment to stopping the run, it's not just like we're committed to stop the run. Like, what are you doing scheme wise? And to Jerry's point, you know, we bring in 2 bigger bodies rather than going with a smaller 3 technique. You know, you kind of stuff that and you make this commitment to it. And you could do that because they are a little bit limited, right? Fields is not going to beat you with the ball downfield the way Lamar can. And as good as some of the receivers are for the Jets, I don't think they have the weapons that they have. So for me, this was kind of a complete game. Just seeing the variety of things we did offensively and defensively, and from an execution standpoint, other than a couple of grounding errors made by the great caped crusader Josh Allen, you know, it was a very clean and favorable game, and we really kind of allowed the Jets to hurt themselves, especially early on with the just horrific penalties they made, and you know, they're emerging. They might have some tools, but I think there's still a lot of ground in New Jersey for them to make up to even get a locker room like we have in Buffalo.
Yeah, there was.
But I just wanted to piggyback real quick on. I'm sorry to interrupt. We wanted to piggyback on what John said. Offensively, they got 2 weapons. They got Wilson and they got Hall. I mean, other than that, they don't have anything else.
Correct.
And you know, going back to the defense and speaking on the defense, I mean, you could see some different things. I thought that Babbage did a really good job this week of moving the front. You could see a bunch of plays where Daquan was slanting, you know, kind of trying to turn his shoulders and get upfield. And then he did a really good job of inserting the cornerbacks in the run game, where he called kind of those, you know, they call them blitzes on TV, or a lot of people say it's a blitz. It's kind of an auto read. You get a certain formation and a certain look. Those safety or those corners, and sometimes safeties are going to fire their gun right away. And, you know, Trey had a couple of big plays, Benford a couple of big plays. So props to Babbage. He called a good game today, too.
Yeah, there's something to be said for the message being sent after that Ravens game. 231 yards on the ground, 235, whatever it was. When you've got, to your point, I mean, talking about Benford, I mean, the stick that he made on that one run play, and Tre'Davious White showing up in the run game, but kind of getting back for me to Joey Bosa, and I know that he's 30, so he's not 27, he's not 28. 30. He's not 33 either, which is what Von Miller was. And there was an expectation. We got a taste of what we expected to get from Von before he got injured. My mind goes back to that Chiefs game that the three of us were at when he had when he made that move on Mahomes that caused the interception to Taron Johnson that effectively sealed the game for us. But Joey Bosa is a pass rusher. He's not a pretender. He's not a high motor guy. He's not a rotational body. He's a legit, as I said, seasoned pass rusher with, I think, a lot of juice left. And, the question is always going to be, can he stay healthy? But for me, and I just want both of your takes on this, I would bet money that no one wants Joey Bosa to stay healthy more than Joey Bosa. And I know that sounds like, well, yeah, that's how every player feels. Well, the reason I say that is because he looks like he's actually having fun playing football again. And he kind of said that in his presser today, too. You guys know this. Nothing squashes your joy more than fighting the inactive list every week due to injury, right? Am I going to get to play? Am I going to get to play? I just feel like Joey could be that piece that pushes us over the edge. John, what are your thoughts before I let Jerry go?
Well, listen, Joey's had some injuries, right? So you say he's 30 years old, but effectively, aside from injury, he's had a lot of rest. So
Yes.
you could look at him as a 27, 28-year-old guy, just with the number of games that he's missed. Now, that's a different kind of beating, right? 65 plays or 70% of the plays, whatever that equated to, that's a physical beat down body beating. But if I, break my arm, the rest of my body isn't getting beat to hell at the same time. So I virtually saved that year minus whatever decline I have just by aging. So I don't buy the 30 argument. And, what Jerry said earlier, he's a 3-down guy, but his pass rush is no joke. He makes everybody better around him. And I think, for me, that's what we were missing in these crucial parts of the game where nothing's really happening. And then a guy breaks through, gets the quarterback off his spot, gets a hit, makes a tackle for a loss. Those kinds of things are really, really effective. And he is having a great impact. And it's part of it because he's having a great freaking time out there.
Yeah. Jerry?
I look at it and I think back to what Marv Levy used to say all the time to us. He's like, look, you can't play your best on Sunday if we've already played a game Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, right? And I look at what Buffalo's done with Joey Bosa, and I look what McDermott has done, and Bosa's talked about it a couple of times in the media where there's been days where he shows up to practice and they go, hey, vet rest day, you're not practicing. And they're like, he's freaked out. Like, he doesn't understand this because he always practices. And, McDermott's done really good with him to keep him fresh, to keep him, we don't need to, and I said this a million times, I don't need to see Joey do a ton of practice reps. He knows how to play. And he's going to.
Oh, bummer.
So what Jerry's saying,
if anything, he's going to. Okay, you got me?
Yep,
we got you, baby.
You got me now, guys? Okay. And I apologize. But,
no apologies.
If we know him, if he gets the time off, it's not like he's going to fall off and, not do the things he needs to do to get ready to play. And, he's a vet. He's very mature. He knows what he's doing. He knows his body. And I think that McDermott and them have done a great job of keeping him fresh and not wearing him out in practice. So he's able to be, amped up and ready to go on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and what Jerry's talking about, Joe, and for everybody out there, they get it, but let's apply this theory. The 10,000 reps to become an expert thing, right? So he's already got 25,000 reps, and by taking a day of rest, he's not going to forget it. When I was coaching in high school, we'd do a drill, and then, my one guy's going through for the third time. He's like, Coach, I already did it. I'm like, okay, great. You got it. You're an expert. You did it 3 times. You're good to go.
Yeah.
So Joey's a different cat, just like anybody who's been in that league that long. You're better off fresh, knowing what you can do than, having some weird thing wear you out or hurt you during a practice week.
There's before we get to the story of this football game, and I know John, you've got a flight to catch here momentarily. There's just something about, and I know most players, specifically the ones that Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott go after, are humble. I know there's a humility factor in the majority of the guys that they bring in, but there's just something about listening to Joey Bosa even talk about Josh Allen. I mean, this is a guy that's played with Justin Herbert, who is no slouch as far as being talented as a quarterback. I mean, Justin Herbert is a good quarterback, but you almost get the feeling that he's in awe of like Josh Allen and kind of the presence that he provides on this football team, which obviously you guys played with a guy very similar in Jim Kelly that just had an aura about him. You knew that if that's the dude pulling the wagon, that we're going to win football games. And it's just great to kind of see that story of the football game. So this is, as much as we've kind of covered some highlights, I love to get into just what you guys think is effectively the story of this game. And for me, the story of the game was very much the Bills kind of like shutting out the noise just around what was going on from last week with the Ravens, staying grounded, coming off of that big win and using it to impose their will. Josh Allen talked. It's funny to hear Josh Allen always say, "Oh, I don't read or hear anything that you guys ever say." And then in his presser, he's talking about how, like, you know, despite the noise that was going around about us, like we came out and played football today. I thought that was a big piece of what happened in this football game, that they didn't get overconfident. They weren't on an emotional high, and they didn't buy into the noise that they can't play defense. But Jerry, I would love to know what you thought, just from a story standpoint, the story of this football game was.
That was a game that displayed the veteran leadership and the veteran side of the football team. I think that, you know, Elvis used to have the symbol TCB with the lightning bolt, right? It meant taking care of business. And that's what the Bills did. I mean, they knew they were a better football team. They knew they had better players. They knew they had better personnel. And they went out and did that. And that's what you do as a good team. And the thing that's really kind of cool to me anyway is the fact that as good as they've played, the ceiling is still higher. I mean, they haven't played their best football yet. And you know, and that's something to you know, hold on to and be happy about. And the fact that you're trying to make a playoff run, eventually get to a Super Bowl. This team's 2-0, beat arguably, you know, top 3 team in the league, not even arguably, is, and then take care of business against the Jets, and they can still get a lot better. So yeah. I mean, it's to me it was a very to me it was a display of what good football teams do.
Yeah, John, thoughts?
I'm just curious, like, has a team ever taken a bigger beatdown for winning a game ever? I mean, we beat the damn Ravens. We didn't lose, 40 to 10. Yeah, the defense didn't play well, but I mean, I think the shock and awe of it happening in week 1 is what got everybody's, hackles up a little bit, but you look at every team during their 17-week season, everybody has kind of a slump type of game. I think we survived one where the defense was just not performing. And then Bobby Babbitt just reloads. We retool. We, get guys excited to go out there and make a statement against a running football team. So these types of things ebb and flow. When we choose, the prediction, neither you nor I pick 17-0 because you just know that sometimes, some way it's going to happen. Yeah. We survived it and then we recovered from it. That was the storyline, but I think it was blown so far out of proportion because it was game 1. Yeah.
John, how much time do you have? Because I have a question I want to ask you both.
Let's see. That's group 2. I got a couple minutes.
Love it. Jerry, you said you used the word mature. And we all know that Josh Allen got married. We all somewhat gossipy are aware of previous relationship versus how he feels with his relationship with Haley, and now obviously being married. There's all the talk and conversation about what marriage does to a football player, a lot of times specifically a quarterback. I don't know if I buy into it. I know, John, I think you got married while you were a player. Jerry, possibly you as well. Josh just looks and feels different. It's the first 2 games of the season, and generally when teams are trying to find themselves, Josh just has this calm kind of like, I've gone to a different level, and things are just more, not easy. I don't know, it's just mature, I think is the word. Jerry, do you buy into that marriage may be calming him down a little bit?
I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that he sees everything now. I think his mental game has gone to another level. And it's funny because when you have Romo as a color commentator, you know what he does. He gives the the pre-snap tells and everything else.
Yep.
And when you watch today, every time Romo said the ball should go here, that's where the ball went.
Yep.
I think Josh is seeing it on a different level now. I think everything's come together. It's not just the athletic ability; it's also the mechanics and the technique, and then the mental aspect also. And then again, if you're happy off the field as well, that's part of it. I mean, it's all part of the equation. But I think mentally he's on a different level than he's been in his career, and you're really seeing it.
John, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know if it's so much marriage, but Jerry hit the nail on the head. It's happiness, right? And in the absence of marriage, you can still be happy as a single man. I think the worst part is when it wasn't great at all, when there was turmoil, right? So above all else, for 20 weeks of the regular season and training camp, you just, whether you're dating somebody, you're married or whatever, you're like, hey, can we just kind of keep this very simple, very smooth right now? Because you don't want any distractions. Little distractions become big distractions. And to Jerry and Coach Romo's point, I think there is a maturity level of him seeing more, but I think that's also due in part to, and we say everybody eats and we don't have a wide receiver one, but this wide receiver room has a lot of real veteran feel to it. And I think that also lends comfort.
Yep, very good. John, I'm going to let you sign off because I don't want you to miss your boarding group. So any last words?
Yeah, I got another minute here, so I'm going to wrap up my notes. I thought Mitch Trubisky came in and, whether it was one or two reps, really stood into the void there and did a great job. We've talked enough about the defense, of course. We were celebrating here in New Orleans at the NOLA Tap House when we started our 4-minute offense with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I was going crazy for that. I was happy to see Elijah Moore do a little bit more than contribute. Looked really good out there. I think our tight end play is just really clicking right now. Between those three guys, it's just so much fun. And I love you guys. Sorry, I got to check out early. I know you're going to have a robust conversation after I leave. And love you, fellas. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Yeah, to John's point, as far as robust conversation, we're going to talk a little bit just about we're going to get into the stats in this game. We're going to get and we're going to do our Dude Awards. What? Oh, he just said something that I wanted to bring up, and now I can't remember what it was off the top. Oh, Jerry, I'm so dang it. What did he say? Oh well, I'll do the read right now. Maybe it'll come back to me. But as far as just sponsors and just chicken wings and things and being on the road and being out of town, which Jerry, you live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Just want to talk real quick about Anchor Bar. If you don't have an Anchor Bar, Jerry, in your town, which I don't think in Tulsa you guys have one, you can still experience the home of the original chicken wing right there in Tulsa. Which, Jerry, I know you not only do you grill and not only do you smoke, I'm guessing you've got a pretty big turkey fryer. Is that true?
Yeah, I have a means to fry some wings. Yes, I do.
So there you go. So if you were to fry up some wings and you needed the sauce, because it's all about the sauce. Yes, you've got to get the cook on the chicken wings right, but the sauce is just as important. You can order Buffalo Anchor Bar sauce, and you can have that sauce shipped to you for game days, parties, and any occasion. The Anchor Bar original buffalo wings sauce. It also makes a great gift. All you got to do is go to anchorbar.com, order today. Enjoy making buffalo wings right at home, right there in Tulsa. Buy Anchor Bar wing sauce for the taste of the original buffalo chicken wing. Anchor Bar chicken wing sauce is available in 5 delicious flavors. Simply pour over cooked wings and serve. Anchor Bar wing sauce is a blend of ingredients that coats your homemade, probably a secret blend of ingredients that coat your homemade wing for amazing flavor. Serve them with blue cheese and celery, never ranch, blue cheese and celery for the original buffalo wing tradition. But super thankful to have our folks over there at Anchor Bar be a part of this network and be a part of the show as far as that goes. Jerry Ostrowski, I'm going to get into the stats a little bit here. And as always, feel free to jump in anytime that you would like to. Josh Allen on this day was 14-25, 148 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Not a beamingly, amazingly impressive MVP day from Josh Allen, other than this is what the day called for, yes?
Yeah, definitely. And if I cut out, Joe, I apologize. I'm having
You're fine.
Some issues now. But as far as Josh goes, I mean, Josh never really got into much of a flow this game. I think he made the plays he had to. A big issue that I think he had today job kind of let him get out of the pocket too much. He did, but he was to but those are the types of things you need to do. I mean, the Jets had a good game plan they contained them, but we ran the football. James Cook, amazing day, and offensively they scored what, 30? How many points we scored today? 30 what?
30 points.
30
yeah,
points?
30 to 10, which is this was the quietest, nonchalant, very easiest 30 points. It's like, wait, what'd they score? 30 points? Which is
right. That's why I had problems remembering what it was, because it was just kind of like you turn the game on, the next it's over, and we just blew them out, and it was like that was the most nondescript blowout of all time.
Yeah, 30 seems to be the number for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills when Josh Allen plays quarterback. James Cook in this football game, 21 carries for 132 yards, 6.3 yard average against a very, very good Jets defensive line that will always be very good as long as Quinnen Williams is on that defensive line. He had 2 touchdowns. Jerry, that jump cut, that was the type of thing that you watch a player from another team do, and you say as a fan of any team, boy, I wish we had a running back that could do that.
Right. Well, I think the thing is, Joe, is that it's, we talk about linemen that fit Aaron Kromer's system. I think you have to look at James Cook as being a tailback that fits Aaron Kromer's system as well as any tailback goes. I mean, the patience, the ability to make the jump cut, the ability to go backside of it. I'm not ready to say it yet, but James Cook could very well be one of the best zone runners ever in the game, the way he produces week after week with that outside zone running scheme that they run.
That is a that is a strong statement when you look at guys, Le'Veon Bell and what do you got? Terrell, the guy from the Denver Broncos a million years ago.
Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis. You've got some zone runner guys that were pretty astounding. But yes, I mean James Cook, to your point, makes it look easy. He makes it look it's a flow thing for him, and it works really, really well. Josh Allen on this day, 6 for 59 yards. He had that one big long run. Ray Davis, 9 of 24. I'm at the point, Jerry, talk to me and the fans about James Cook not being a 3-down back and bringing in Ray Davis, who I have less confidence in on 3rd and 4 than I do in James Cook. Why is this happening?
Well, if you noticed when Ray came in, and Ray did get the first down, when he was called upon getting the first down.
I think it was a 4th down. He pulled it out on the 4th down, but yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he ran for a first down when they needed it.
Yes.
And if you watch the blocking scheme, it changed. Okay. They didn't run a true zone style blocking scheme. They ran the Alec Anderson big set. They took Alec and they blocked him out, and they folded 88. I always forget his name.
Dawson Knox?
Yeah, Dawson Knox. They folded Dawson Knox inside and ran kind of a little tight end lead on a fold, and Davis got it. So when they needed a guy to be downhill and run those more downhill schemes that are more along the lines of angle blocking or gap type stuff, they brought Davis in. And as soon as Davis came in, I was like, they're running the ball. It was almost a tell.
Yes.
And they went right there. So I don't know why everybody all of a sudden is down on Ray Davis.
Not down.
I mean, Ray Davis is a hell of a back, and he's going to do good things for this football team. If anything, his style is a great change up to what Cook does. So I have no problem when he plays.
Yeah, I don't think down is the word. Clearly, we were unsure of what was going to happen with the James Cook contract, and obviously he was going to play this year, but you don't know from being a disgruntled. And I think we were all pretty confident that Ray Davis could effectively carry the load if there was a problem. There's just an aspect of, like, when you watch James Cook run, to your point about him being one of the best zone runners potentially when his career ends, like in NFL history, there's just a confidence. And I don't remember Terrell Davis coming off the field on 3rd down like that dude.
But understand this, even Terrell Davis was a different type of zone runner than James Cook is.
He was also huge.
Terrell Davis would push the front side and then hop behind something on the front side of the running play. James cuts all the way back most of the time. And like we talked about in other episodes, he's had the most runs of anybody in the league last year, like 48%.
Right.
So when you're trying to get 4th and 1, 4th and 2, or 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, sometimes it's detrimental to be hopping around in the backfield looking for a hole. You need to get downhill and bring it. And sometimes you got to bring your own block
Yeah.
And that's what Davis does so well.
Yeah, super good. Elijah Moore in this football game, 2 for 6 yards with the touchdown. Ty Johnson, 2 for 6. Mitchell Trubisky, 3 for -3. He had the kneel downs, obviously. From a passing standpoint, everybody eats manja. I've learned that word today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guys caught passes. There were 10 guys that were targeted. Joshua Palmer led the day, 2 for 47. Dalton Kincaid, 4 for 37. You made the statement, and I've got this in my notes, Jerry, and I'll be interested to know what you think. You made the statement that sometimes you forget Dawson Knox's name. There was some noise made this offseason, and it happens every offseason with certain players from different teams all the time about like, oh, Dalton Kincaid spent time in the gym this year and put on serious weight and muscle. I'm going to be honest. When Dalton Kincaid catches the football, I can't tell if it's Dawson Knox or Dalton Kincaid because he's not skinny anymore. He used to be a rail, and now he's got kind of that similar build, and 86 looks like 88, and I'm like, which guy is that?
Right. I think that they're complementing each other well. It's amazing the addition of a rookie like Jackson Hawes and just what kind of balance he's brought to that room now and how all three of them are working together. I made this comment earlier today. Peer pressure is a real deal. It's a real thing in the league. And when those guys, when Knox and Kincaid are in the room and they're listening to the tight ends coach over and over and over again talk about how Jackson Hawes is just killing people in the run game, they start blocking better as well. And I think you've seen Kincaid make some great blocks. Yeah, he's worked on his body this offseason. I don't think he's that much bigger, but he is stronger. He looks good. That whole group in general is complementing each other very well, and they've been a big time blessing to this offense.
I think in a manly way, I would say it's his core. It's his butt. His butt is about the width of Dawson Knox's now, which is what's throwing me off. But Keon Coleman, 3 for, I digress. Keon Coleman, 3 for 26 yards. Dawson Knox, 2 for 19. Khalil Shakir, 1 for 12. Jackson Hawes, 1 for 5. James Cook, 1 for 3. Are you concerned at all with the drops today? The drop bug happens, and then it seems like it becomes contagious. There were some drops that should have been caught that like the players jumped up and like tried to blame the defender, but they were balls. Even McKenna was not sitting next to me going, you should have caught that football.
No, I wasn't concerned about drops. And I go back to last night when Brian Kelly lost his mind against a reporter that was trying to just find something to critique the LSU Tigers about. It's hard for me to just dig into one thing. I know that we have to find something to complain about, but no, I mean, a lot of those catches weren't super easy, man. I mean, we think that these catches are just, oh yeah, it's easy. You can just do it. Everybody, it's not that easy. I haven't really found much of anything in this game that I was much concerned with. If you want to talk about drops, you can, but all in all, I thought it was a pretty darn good performance.
I 100% love hearing an offensive lineman say that right there, that these catches aren't easy to a wide receiver, because there's an aspect of like the whole do your job piece. If you watch that Chiefs game today, Travis Kelce, just his body language in that game as guys were making mistakes and he was making mistakes, it didn't look good. So to hear you kind of say that was awesome.
That Kelce drop was a drop. It was crucial. And, I just feel bad for Travis because the mind is still willing, but it's obviously the body is going away. And the biggest issue with
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying it was sorry, we had a little bit of latency. I apologize. There was just an aspect of like when other things, there was a ball that he felt he was open, it went to somebody else and he dropped it and he like waved his hands like kind of like whatever. There was just a lot of stuff like that was like, Travis, this is not you. Like, you're a leader on this football team. Like, don't be that guy.
I can see where you're coming from, but I just think Travis's big issue right now, and when you watch what they're doing and how they're playing, it's his body's betraying him. He's just getting older to where, like, for instance, let's go to the top on the goal line. I think that old Travis is a couple of yards ahead of that and catches that ball easily because he's in a better position. Today he's got to reach for it. It's a little bit low. He reaches for it, it bounces up, and then you have the issues. So
I think you're switching over. Looking at the total team stats for this football game, as Jerry has entered his house and is probably reconnecting to his Wi-Fi. Total yards for the Buffalo Bills 403, Jets 154. The Jets had 154 yards in this football game, which is usually the amount of yards that you get in a quarter as a football team. Passing yards, the Buffalo Bills 179 to 54 to the Jets, 224. Rushing for the Bills to 100 for the Jets. Yards per play, 5.7 to 3.3. First downs, 25 for the Bills, 11 for the Jets. This was just not a good day for the Jets. Time of possession, 38 minutes to the Buffalo Bills, 22 for the Jets. It just wasn't a great day for them. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. And it's a battle right now. You can sense the battle between the coaching staff and the players. Aaron Glenn still doesn't have all the guys there he wants. Right. Some of the guys he doesn't trust yet. And a lot of those guys maybe don't trust him. And the fact he didn't go for it on that short fourth down, I think, is pretty indicative of his thought process. And I believe right now, if you look at Aaron Glenn and what he's trying to build there, he's willing to sacrifice some situations and sacrifice possibly a chance to win some games to make sure he's true to the culture and the system that he's trying to build. I think he knows his football team's not good enough to win a bunch of games this year. So what's more important, reaching for a game that's probably out of touch, or building your culture and building for the future? And I think that's what he's doing, and that's where the fine line is.
Fantastic content right there. Lastly, let's move on into the Dude Awards. We probably should have done that. We probably should have got John's Dude Award for this, both his up dude and down dude. For those of you that might be new to the program, we do, instead of arrow up, arrow down, thumbs up, thumbs down for the players, we do the Dude Awards, which effectively means if they had a good game, dude, great game. And if they had a bad game, dude, we got to talk, not such a great game. And there's always one kind of outstanding rule. Josh Allen is never really awarded the Dude Award because he is that dude on this program. But Jerry, I'm going to let you go first. So who is your Dude Award for this football game?
Well, if I have two, the one that if you'd have picked the one that I was going to choose, which obviously I'm going to choose Joey Bosa. That's nice. My Dude Award. He's slowly becoming my dude every week. So Bosa with the great game again, affected the outcome, caused another fumble, all those things. Yeah. My other one that I went to earlier today that I think is the guy that did a job, and I think he is indicative of what the practice squad is all about, and that's Zion Logue. When you're on the practice squad to give the look, on the practice squad to give a look to the other side of the ball for the week, right, and get them ready to play. But there's also that aspect of it that you're expected to be able to play when they call your number. He played. He got his number called with the Ed Oliver injury late in the week, so this wasn't an early in the week thing that he thought he might go. It was late in the week. They called his number. He played extremely well. He batted 2 balls down, had a half a sack, and really affected things positively in the middle. So Zion Logue is a dude for me as well.
Love it. My Dude Award, I had Joey Bosa. I had James Cook, just in case you and John took one of either of those. My Dude Award is going to go to Mitch Trubisky. Dude, like Josh Allen even said in his presser, it probably would have made sense for me to lay on the ground.
Yes.
To give Mitch time to practice a snap, throw a couple footballs. But Josh Allen, you played this game, right? So there was an aspect. You watch Josh Allen and many players when they get injured and they're standing on the sideline, dude is like messing with their arm or whatever, and they're like intently paying attention to the football game because their only the only motive they have is to get back on the football field. Josh Allen ran off the football field as fast as he possibly could, and there was nothing in the world that mattered to him in that moment than the blood that was like literally pouring out of his nose. Mitch Trubisky steps off the sideline, throws his helmet on, and on 3rd and 6 throws a 32-yard dart for a first down on a drive that went for 3 points and effectively mattered. Like if the Bills punt, if he comes out an incomplete pass, they punt there, the momentum in the game could shift. And as much as I've been down on Mitch Trubisky through this preseason, that to me was like, bro, way to go. Like game ball for me, for Mitch Trubisky.
But that's what I've been trying to say about Trubisky for a long time, for the guy, get rid of him, keep Mike White, bring another guy in. The backup quarterback's put in a wild spot, man. You never know when you're going to be called upon, and you got to have a certain skill set to be successful at it. Trubisky has that. Probably a better career backup maybe than as an actual starter. So,
Right.
yeah, props to him.
Which is rough for a former, was he first or second overall pick? Just, yeah, you wished, obviously you always wish that those guys would do better than that. Real quick, super chat from John DeFazio. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate you being a part of the conversation. Great win, he says. The defense and run game was positive today. However, Milano injury, which we talked about earlier, it looks to be possibly a hamstring, happened at the 33-second mark on the long Justin Fields run before the half. One critique, 3rd and 6 again, a run call by Brady, a little too conservative. Do you remember this play call? Because I do not.
The 3rd and 6 run call by Brady. Yeah, I do remember it. It's when you made the comment, "Hey, why don't you just yell to the defense? We're running the ball."
Oh, that's right. And then I think they
But
ran
it
it on
wasn't 3rd and 6.
It
It was actually 3rd and 4.
Right. And by the way, I said that in the Discord channel. I did not tweet that. Or did I text? No, I said it in the Discord channel, right? Yeah. There was an aspect. And what was weird about that play, Jerry, and this is the thing that gets me. It happened a couple times. You see it in every game, and we'll get out of here right after this. And obviously field level, eye level, as a running back, you don't know, but it looks like he takes the ball to his left and then cuts into the teeth of the defense to his right and gets tackled right away. And it looked like it was open on the left side, like there was some open room. So you don't necessarily know what he saw per se. Do you ever look at that and be like, man, if he'd have just gone left there, he'd have had it?
I mean, hindsight's 2020. When the bullets are flying and they're real, it's a little bit hard. It's something where, it's hard to make critiques on that. So I don't, but then again, it was James Cook. And like I said earlier, they had his own play called. In that situation, it'd have been nice to have, a downhill guy like Ray Davis. That's why those two interchange and do the things they do.
Yep. Great show, great content from both you and John.
Hey, I wanted to say I appreciate everybody being patient with me, being on the road, being on my laptop or my iPad and all that stuff. So thank you very much. I love doing this stuff. I tried my hardest to be on here, so I apologize if the production wasn't quite up to par how it normally is.
I'll be honest with you. The opportunity to get content from you outweighs, in my opinion, and I would think that the listeners would say it as well, outweighs whatever we have to go through to get content from you, because the perspective that you and John bring to these football games is just different than anybody else brings, because you are former players and there's two of you. So it's not like,
right,
hey, there's one former player, what I say goes. There's a lot of times where you two see the same thing or you see things differently. And you two have convinced me very much so that the smartest guys on a football field are the offensive linemen. I always thought it was the quarterback and maybe some other dudes, but clearly understanding where everybody's supposed to be, what everybody's supposed to be doing, how the game is supposed to flow, what's supposed to happen. You guys have it in spades. So if somebody's complaining, they can go pound sand, because to me, it's worth the opportunity.
Well, I just wanted to say that, because I know we pride ourselves in being good. So anyway, cool.
Yeah, for sure. Any final thoughts before I get us out of here?
No, I'm just excited for next week. I mean, obviously Thursday, it's a short week. And the most important part about this, as much as I hate Thursday football as a player, and honestly, I mean, it is nice to watch a pro game on Thursday night. I do think there is some quality issues as far as what you see on the field, just because guys are beat up. The most important thing is it is in Orchard Park. They're not going to Miami. It is at home. The Dolphins will travel up here. I still don't think we have an answer for a lot of the Miami speed, but I think they're so out of sorts, and there's so much going on down there that, again, if we make sure we don't give up the explosives, and we take care of what we can take care of, we'll be fine. And I'm looking forward to it. Any opportunity to get to beat Miami, I'm all about it.
All about that, dude. That team in that city is imploding, bro. It's great to see on Twitter. Like their fans are like, okay, there's been a team meeting. Maybe now the fans need to call a meeting, because
they flew a plane over the stadium today. Fire Greer, fire McDaniel. So it's in full effect.
They asked McDaniel about it today in his post game presser, and he was and the whole thing, the whole entire thing.
Have you ever watched a guy? And I've seen it before too. Like, have you ever watched a guy come to the podium and he is praying in the back of his mind that he'll get Darth Vadered right at the like they'll just come up and say, "Hey, you're fired." Like, it would be the most joyous day of his life. He just really gives off that vibe. Yeah.
Yes, Bill's coaches. Mike Malarkey was one of those guys.
Yeah. And by the way, Joe, I have 2 bottles of Anchor Bar wing sauce in my pantry as we speak. So I use
as we
exclusively Anchor Bar wing sauce on all my wings at the house.
As we speak, he said. Well, happy Victory Monday to everybody. Coming up this week on the Overreaction Sports Network. Tomorrow, Monday, or today, if you're listening on Monday, the Off Tackle with John Fina show, which I believe Jerry will be hosting for that.
That's by the way, that's an extremely true statement. Very, very, very true.
That's amazing. Well, give me 2 minutes, maybe not, maybe less. Tuesday, Elena Getzenberg, a Bills beat reporter from ESPN, will be on the program on the beat. We'll be talking to Elena for a very short week. It'll be interesting to see how that show turns out, just because the injuries are going to be kind of up in the air, and the short week it's going to be kind of weird as far as that goes. Wednesday, new format for your show, Jerry O.
Yeah, we're gonna have I still haven't come up with a name yet. I think I know what the name's going to be, obviously, but a good friend of mine, Zig Fracassi from Sirius XM Radio, has been doing Sirius XM NFL channel for probably 30 years, since the inception of NFL radio on Sirius XM. Well, before the merger, he's going to be on with me as the host of the show. Him and I will co-host it, and we're going to kind of dig into the week that is. Kind of 7 days to Buffalo, so to speak, 7 days to game time, and kind of dig into questions about, wrap up the Jets game. What are the guys thinking about? What do you have to do to get ready for Thursday night? And really, take a deep dive inside the locker room and the player's perspective. So I wanted to change it up a little bit. I thought that I had some things in my mind that would be fun for the fan base and the Mafia to know and learn. And so we're going to do that. But big props to Zig for doing that. Love him to death. He's a great guy. I get to go on Sirius XM with him quite a bit, and he'll be on with me on Wednesday nights.
Buffalo native Zig Fracassi, who is a all-time pro. I listened to Zig on Sirius XM NFL radio for a long time. Also, the walkthrough with Anthony Marino will be coming up this week before Thursday, as well as Mafia Bets. There might be 2 episodes of Mafia Bets this week, which if you're a sports bettor, a sports gambler, you've not tuned into Mafia Bets yet, Dan is killing it. Like, Dan is a professional gambler. Like, has won World Series of Poker type stuff. Like, this is what Dan has done his whole life. He's killing it. So if you are into that sort of thing, then that is your show. But we'll probably do 2. We'll probably do one for Thursday night and then one for the weekend as well. But all good stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the Overreaction Buffalo Postgame Show on the Overreaction Sports Network, presented by FanDuel. My name is Joe Miller. That is Jerry Ostrowski. For John, for Ant, for Dan, for all of us here at Overreaction, we appreciate you guys. We love you. Go Bills.
Much love, people. Go Bills.
Happy Victory Monday.